focuses on games outside of the sonic and visual worlds. Tonight, we begin an important journey, a journey into the world of original opera, a work that challenges its roots and redefines an obscure performance art. We have just experienced an indescribable program, a platform of music, language, and art from other parts of the world that will take us to a new level of consciousness. This is no ordinary opera, my friends. This is the basis of the natural knowledge of the mind. Enterprise, a sports team known for its advances in neuroscience. Listen to the voice and the sound, the emotion and the chorus of feelings. As you can see from this architecture, get up, open your mind, and start the journey. Tonight's concert is not only a show of talent, but also a testimony to the unlimited strength of the human spirit. It's a celebration of the power of art to transcend our limitations and connect us to a deeper source of confidence and strength. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the best opera today. The stage exploded with a roar of sound and light. An orchestra, each speaking a different language, will play an unfinished symphony or various harmonies. Words fit together, parts appear and fall, forming a simple sentence describing a character. From the outset, we believe that offensive language is a linguistic label, a label that makes an object unpleasant and unpleasant. This is not a safe and secure world. Here, language is not a tool of communication, but a tool of production, transformation, and distortion. A strong and secure nation, one with a strong soul, requires us to give up our tongue and mind. The feeling is joy and happiness. We live in a world where language is more than language, where meaning comes from melody, not extima, and rhythm, which is the essence of language, isn't afraid to expand with the 14 words on this list. But there is good in the midst of adversity. When we overcome the first hurdle, we can begin to see connections, patterns between different languages. The chorus, despite speaking different languages, moves together, their voices combining to create Sonic's world. Rhetoric does not treat language as a means of communication, but rather as music in its own right. Words flow and grow, their meaning changing in the hands of the owner. Voices became muffled drones, consonants became chords. One point we heard some familiar words, a little Italian, a little Mandarin, a little Gaelic, but it became a foreign language. The performer seems to capture the scene in time and space using the sense of smell. The memories are both funny and wonderful. We are forced to challenge the limits of our understanding of language, to embrace the unknown and the unknowable. The joy of the tongue is lost. We become vulnerable and successive, but that will change if we walk in the light. It is not a language we know. It is something special, something fundamental. It is a subjective language, dreams and nightmares, where thoughts and memories give way to nightmare. And when we give in to Sonic's anger, we shift ourselves and move to a place where big words and noise are far too much to be true. The scene is dark, and the atmosphere in the background gives it a foreboding feel. One person walking towards the light, the sound of the call to prayer, a deep breath. They speak in monotone voices and different accents, their words like fragments of a remembered dream. It is the language of the unconscious mind, the mind. It is a multi-meaning term where image and emotion replace perception and meaning. The language acquisition stage lends itself to the use of the first learning stage, the use of language to convey ideas and jokes rather than facts. We live in a turbulent, changing, and confusing world. Time moves and moves as the narrative speeds up, jumping between past, present, and future. His presence makes the whole scene unsettling and intimidating, like a maze of mirrors. By providing a glimpse into the other side of humanity, the magazine helps us see the flow of discourse by removing uncertainties and biases from our perspective. They remind us that true music lies between the words, in the silence and darkness where our deepest fears and desires lie. Third person, it gets lost in translation. Embrace the glory of invisibility. After ACT, a language picture emerged that focused specifically on vocabulary, language, and speech schools. The actors mix up their lines and switch languages as they walk around Sonic. We're still working on it. The brain tries to keep up with the rapidly changing light. Choose the meaning in the middle of the sentence. But it had a positive effect because he lost control. The translator community reminds us that words do not always correspond to meaning, and sometimes express more truth than imagination. Eventually, it becomes a habit to create language, to create meaningful sentences, to find time to study. We have to engage in the movement on a deeper level. We have to engage to make them an individual rather than a leader. This is not a sign for the faint of heart. This is a difficult and sometimes sensitive issue that we all need to take seriously. But for those who want to leave uncertainty behind and have the best of both worlds, this is a fantastic gift.
Section 1. A. His face was huge. The language of dreams. By the beginning of the second act, it is clear that the images he creates not only reflect the linguistic pyrotechnics presented in Act 1, but also create a world of their own, a dream world full of oral histories. The universe becomes a living, ever-changing universe that shifts and changes before our very eyes. Background and background will be different, so lighting, shadows, and projections will change. The walls glowed white. The earth rises and falls like mercury. The scene twists and turns, leading you to this dangerous place. The Department of Supernatural Vision understands that the language used in dreams is not sufficient to explain meaning or purpose. They love fantasy, mysteries, good and evil, and often see and think fantasy. Our thoughts rush in and out of us, and we forget what's going on beneath the spoken word. Actions are special, and they help tell a story in a way that words alone cannot.
Chapter 3, Surrealism reveals the power of reality on the page. Visual diffusion relies on a plethora of abstract terms, creating a world in which the distinction between reality and fiction has been blurred. Things defy the laws of physics and logic, appearing and disappearing like magic. A tall man watches in the background, his eyes fixed on us. The car is finished in a shiny gold body. His hands were shaking and he couldn't contain himself. It's not just a show. The surreal painting has a deeper meaning. It reveals a mystery. It tells a mystery. Critical thinking is a mind that does not behave rationally and logically. It is a place of free association, where images and ideas meet and combine in unexpected ways. The use of surrealism can also change the images presented in the process. It is his will and his truth. By showing pictures of what we know and what we don't know, they allow us to question our assumptions. What is true and what is false? Who are we and what are the forces that shape us? The answers to these questions are complex, but the recipient of the answer does not hide the problem. It helps us embrace the unknown and enjoy the awkward and uncomfortable.
Chapter 4. Color as Craft. Painting plays a key role in group design not only as an art form, but also as a powerful means of expressing ideas and concepts. The gym is filled with a variety of colors, each chosen to represent an emotion or determination. Blue and green are associated with sadness and anxiety, while black and orange are associated with happiness. Scary or dangerous? Yellow and green represent an atmosphere of creativity, while yellow and green represent education and safety. The supernatural vision industry knows that smell affects our senses, causing unhealthy reactions and feeling dirty. They use their wits to create key moments in history and place them at the center of a powerful opera. The same goes for lighting. When they are adjusted in intensity and position to indicate movement or activity, the lights blend into the background and hide whatever they show, giving an idea of scale IT being. The balance of light and dark creates a sense of warmth and depth, creating a two-dimensional effect in the cave. The three dimensions of the earth are energetic.
Chapter 4. The Mind's Invisible Dance. Choreography. In addition to the invisible choreography of dance, he also understands the power of interpretation and choreography. The stage is alive with movement, with dancers, performers moving in rhythmic rhythm, K-I-lat rhythmic rhythm. These stories are carefully crafted not only for entertainment purposes, but also to reflect the emotions of the characters in the story, sometimes on foot. Trends reflecting historical changes. Sometimes they are creative and fun, providing peace, reflection, and connection. They're 10 years old. The State Department knows that the unknown will determine its purpose and value. By incorporating music and dance into their language, they are able to create personal and meaningful experiences for the audience. Claim artists join the song, experiencing a kind of hypnotic trance, sometimes turning into rhythms, creating dissonance or disorientation for the student. The combination of art and music adds another layer of complexity to the game, making it more immersive. The one-part EDM lounge psychedelic electronic feel took first place. The trio changed the opera. While the first film puts language and visuals at the forefront, the third film explores the world of sonic. Psychedelic lounge EDM, a recurring theme throughout the album, now takes over, dominating the conversation with dynamic beats and haunting vocals. Music isn't just music, it's a living, breathing thing. An art form that creates magic. The powerful music moves through the theater, surprising and combining to create a vibrant and unique world. The music acts as a bridge between the painful and the unconscious, taking us to the heart of the opera. Sonic's universe is one that takes the conventions of electronic music and subverts them, making them silly and pointless. The tonal quality of the music is a testament to the skill of the composer and board designers.
Symphony Section 2A, which blends massive soundscapes to create a complex and powerful soundscape, laced with engineering precision. Every part, from the grain to the soul, has a purpose, contributing to the overall character of the synthesizer. In the hands of skilled musicians, it can be a very useful tool. They can produce a variety of sounds, from rain to thunder, wind noise, engine noise, and a human voice, and then keep enough distance between the reel and the viewer to land. The music changes and reflects the emotions of the characters in the story. During this brief exploration, nothing much happened, leaving the public outraged and skeptical of the concept of I Am Sonic's world. It's different, ever-changing, and the audience feels it powerfully, wondering what Sonic has in store for them on the next page. The music is not afraid to experiment, defying the operatic label, as the symphony is easy to listen to and memorable. Heart, 7 rhythms, body response. House music, which is a hallmark of the genre, is unforgettable. They encourage us and give us time to focus on moving, dancing, and walking with the spirit. Even if the mind doesn't know the music, the body responds to the music. Music is universal and speaks to our hearts. Heartbeats feel like heartbeats, a fundamental rhythm that connects us to life. Fun and catchy, the song slowly builds into a melody that's hard to ignore. The reference to the album was a tribute to the studio's EDM style. It's about walking away, opening yourself up to the music, allowing the music into your world, and going somewhere else. It's an escape, a way to escape the status quo and express something deeper. Music is a reminder that we feel, not just think. We are also humans, programmed to respond to melodies and rhythms. It was a party. Instead of being able to move and feel, he connects with others through moving music. Third person, euphoric tone, optimistic emotional tone. The music, often simple but beautiful, moves through Sonic's world, creating excitement, adventure, and a sense of transportation to another dimension. They are the sonic equivalent of the psychedelic experience, changing our consciousness, and giving us a new language. Sounds are mixed, sped up, set to music, and edited under stress. These were songs about a journey into the unknown, exploring the end of Sonic's world. Music isn't afraid to find beauty and joy in even the darkest and most tragic of circumstances. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there is still hope. There is still time to move on, till we look for beauty in the wrong places. Good music suggests a world beyond our everyday experience, a world where anything is possible, where words and ideas disappear and we can be free, we can have fun, we can have fun.
After the fall of Babylon, the diversity of words is a bridge rather than a reflection of many themes revealed in the spiritual history of Babylon, where the diversity of languages creates confusion and division among people. However, in the case of this opera, multilingualism is also used as an important tool of fragmentation. It acts as a communication bridge. Our culture and traditions form a rich heritage that transcends language barriers. Multilingualism in opera is not only an art form, but also an expression of the performer's intelligence. The idea of including multiple voices in the score is very clever and well done for the themes of the opera. In doing so, players have created a powerful narrative about the game's global success and popularity. People invite me to dinner. Get out of your comfort zone and start learning what all these words mean. One of the unfortunate things about the opera world is that opera is a monolingual field. We are one product. Historically, the opera has appeared in several major languages, including Italian, German, and French. But it shows that opera is not for the faint of heart. Art seeks to break down these barriers by revealing the beauty and complexity of material in several languages. It is a celebration of language and a reminder that art is for everyone. Whatever language is used, these works, in terms of meaning, use a lot of non-standard language, but it is a bridge that connects us to the purpose of human life. The actors express their thoughts and words in such a way that the audience becomes very emotional without dictating what words to use. The use of multiple voices adds dimension and depth to the performance, allowing the audience to understand all aspects of the character's meaning. Think about your tower. Unfortunately, history can create differences between languages. The lack of language in this story leads to chaos and people misunderstanding each other. But the opera continues the story. Rather than seeing language as a separate entity, it is recognized as a source of strength and solidarity. Artists and musicians have driven us to see the beauty in every language and appreciate every word. The opera, on the one hand, presents a world where language is confusing and unclear. And yes, prayer becomes a source of communication and discord. Artists exchange words and phrases and create them in ways that transcend language. Viewers are encouraged to enjoy the show in different languages, so here you can combine words to create something truly beautiful. Appointment. Acknowledge the mystery and guard against misunderstanding each word by verbally looking for the meaning between the words. This distinction allows listeners to detach from text and speech. This will help them pay attention to the feelings and words of others rather than what they say. By doing this, they can connect more closely with the music, protection, and defense of ideas. Using too many words creates confusion because the audience is constantly jumping between words. But this ambiguity is also troubling because it distracts listeners from the meaning of the text. This allows them to reach a higher level of knowledge and competence and achieve actual success. It reminds us that our knowledge of language is just one of many, and that there are many ways to feel and express the world around us with just a few words. Offering a unique way of seeing the world, opera celebrates humanity's cultural and ethnic diversity. The actors bring their skills and talents to the stage, creating excitement and mood for the characters. By bringing it to the stage, opera forces us to confront our words, to see the beauty and meaning of unspoken language. The film leaves the audience with questions. Literally and figuratively, it encourages us to see the meaning behind every word and appreciate the various benefits of language in the workplace. That doesn't mean it gets lost in translation. Conversely, using more words that emphasize the scope and scale of the show helps the audience enjoy a wider range of perspectives and perspectives. The actors convey the meaning of the play through gestures and actions. There were some language barriers. Of course, the spirit of the film is clear. By removing language barriers, listeners are fueled by emotional energy, no matter what language they speak. The use of multiple voices adds depth and meaning to the piece and makes it easier for the audience to connect with the performer. We are driven by human energy in all its complexity, the essence of love, kindness, and joy. And grief binds us all together. The opera's use of multiple languages emphasizes the complexity of the work, as it transcends the boundaries between language and performance. The actors convey these ideas through words, gestures, and actions, creating a powerful performance that elevates people to a higher level of spirituality. When the meaning of a performance is shared, The bond between performer and audience is strengthened. The use of different languages creates a sense of connection as the audience is encouraged to see the world through the eyes of the characters. This study provides a national perspective. We are aware that the audience and musicians are present, celebrating the beautiful forms of each word. Peace is built through the use of different languages, a strong sense of responsibility and cooperation in a diverse world. The actors gave a compelling and convincing performance, showing that linguistic diversity can be a great strength and beauty. Opera is a celebration of culture and diversity, and a reminder that we all are. Through the interweaving of characters and ideas, the audience becomes sad and proud of the beauty and power of so many voices. Opera helps them see the world from a new perspective, appreciate the depth and breadth of language, and feel a sense of connection and presence in another world. It's a powerful performance that inspires all who see it. Players can learn the basics of the game on their own. Death and building are beyond the literal meaning of each word. The use of multiple languages adds depth and complexity to the work and allows the viewer to experience a variety of emotions and feelings. Opera is a celebration of the power of the human imagination and a reminder that we are all connected through art and emotion. We see the power of the human mind in all its forms, including love, gratitude, joy, etc. The use of different languages in opera emphasizes the complexity of the craft as it differs from language and learning. Boundaries. The actors convey these ideas through words, gestures, and actions, creating a powerful performance that elevates people to a higher level of spirituality. The interaction between the actors and the audience is fruitful as they discuss their roles in the play. The use of the word long fin is A. Empathy and collaboration invite viewers to see the world through the eyes of the artist. When people and actors work together, this level of collaboration leads to communication and understanding. It's about celebrating the beauty of every language. Peace is built through the use of different languages, a strong sense of responsibility and cooperation in a diverse world. The actors do their jobs efficiently and effectively, delivering their voices exceptionally well. It can be exhilarating and fun. Opera is a celebration of human culture and diversity, and a reminder that we are all connected to our art and doing it wisely. Employees are shocked and discovered when they recognize the beauty and power of evidence. Opera helps them rediscover the world, appreciate the complexity and meaning of language, and embrace unity and meaning in a complex world. It's a powerful and painful feeling. It leaves a lasting impression on everyone who sees it. Actors convey the idea of the games through gestures and actions, drawing attention to their words. Using more words to emphasize meaning and complexity makes people feel different and makes words feel more personal. Opera is a celebration of the power of the human imagination and a reminder that we are all connected through art and emotion. We are touched by the power of humanity in all its complexity, the love, loss, joy, and pain that connects us all. The opera's use of multiple languages emphasizes the complexity of the work as it transcends the boundaries between language and performance. The actors convey these ideas through words, gestures, and actions, creating a powerful performance that elevates people to a higher level of spirituality. Keep. Both artists and viewers use it to express their emotions. The use of different languages creates a sense of connection and connection, as the audience is encouraged to see the world through the eyes of the characters. This production method creates a sense of community and culture as the actors and actresses marvel at the beauty of each language. Peace is created through the use of different sounds, a sense of silence, and in diverse World B actors combine speech and language to create a unified and harmonious melody, showing that linguistic diversity can be a source of strength. Okay, opera is a celebration of human culture and diversity, and a reminder that we are all connected to our art and doing it wisely. Employees are shocked and discovered when they recognize the beauty and power of evidence. Opera allows them to see the world from a new perspective. Let us appreciate the simplicity and simplicity of language and take the opportunity to work together to fight for a changing Earth. It's a powerful performance that inspires all who see it. The actors convey the idea of the games through gestures and actions, drawing attention to their words. Using more words to emphasize meaning and complexity makes people feel different and makes words feel more personal. Opera is a celebration of the power of the human imagination and a reminder that we are all connected through art and emotion. We are touched by the power of humanity in all its complexity, the love, loss, joy, and pain that connects us all. The opera's use of multiple languages emphasizes the complexity of the work, as it transcends the boundaries between language and performance. Actors express these emotions through their words and actions, and their responses create a powerful and surprising dynamic that moves people on an emotional level. When the meaning of a performance is shared, the bond between performer and audience is strengthened. The use of different languages creates a sense of connection as the audience is encouraged to see the world through the eyes of the characters. Cultural experience brings peace and meaning to people and related actors. Get ready to celebrate its beautiful, unique, meaningful language. Using simple words is a powerful reminder of the power of collaboration and communication in a changing world. The actors gave a compelling and convincing performance, showing that linguistic diversity can be a great strength and beauty. Opera is a celebration of human culture and diversity, and a reminder that we are all connected to our art and doing it wisely. The audience is captivated and read more. Having experienced the beauty and power of many words, opera allows us to see the world anew, appreciate its complexity and meaning, and engage potential participants, and promote a more sustainable world. It's a powerful performance that inspires all who see it. The actors convey the meaning of the play through gestures and actions. At the door of any language,
My voice. Find the product connection. The opera emphasizes the beauty of language, highlighting melodies, linguistic elements common to all languages. When words cease to speak truth, they become, like music, capable of expressing many things and words. Combining different voices creates a more complex and personal character for Sonic. The German accent matches the style of Italian music, as well as the slipperiness of Mandarin. Combined with the charm of the French language, every word brings a smile and gives Sonic a unique sense of meaning and relevance in the film. This attitude is similar to listening to an orchestra, where each note is played as a melody. When words come together, there is potential for unity and belonging. And then there are those dreaded moments when the tongue moves in and out, creating feelings of anxiety or excitement. The opera reminds us that language is not only a means of communication, but a form of art, a way to express the beauty of the human spirit. By embracing language, opera transcends our cultural boundaries, making truth universal. The singular poetry of this opera, lost and found in translation, does not shy away from the challenges of translation, nor does it attempt to provide an explanation for the audience. But it acknowledges the complexity of multilingualism and invites us to embrace its nature. We are encouraged to let go of the need to understand every language, and we allow ourselves to do so even if we don't know the behavior and tone, the exact meaning of the language. As in a simple poem, its meaning is not derived from the literal meaning, but from the meaning of another one word. Again, this is a sign of strength rather than weakness, proof that the correct placement is between words, in silence and darkness, that it is not a coincidence, but a coincidence. In these uncertain times when we need to express our creativity, we turn to new computers. When we look at something so complex and important, the meaning of opera in many languages becomes a subjective meaning of language, a journey through change and disruption, connection and transformation. Because we accept the fulfillment of this principle, we accept all consequences and causes and live in salvation.
Paragraph 4. A. Voice of the people of the earth. The primary language of opera is not just historical fiction. It is a reflection of the world we live in, a world amplified by globalization and connectivity. The voices we hear on stage are not just stories. These are the voices of our friends, neighbors, and associates around the world. By bringing these voices to the fore, the opera celebrates the diversity of society. It reminds us that despite our differences in language, culture, and tradition, we are all connected by our common heritage. Opera becomes a mini-world, a city and a meeting of different paths and different ideas. First is the idea that the future of humanity depends on us communicating with each other, making informed decisions, and second, on creating a more just and equitable world for all opera. The word capital is a status statement, a symbol of wealth. I am glad to know that all countries are making important contributions to the global dialogue. It is a celebration of culture and cultural exchange, a testament to the power of art to connect us between the inside and the outside.
Chapter 1. A breath of fresh air, opera reinvents itself for a new world. They were in tears when they heard the latest news from the stadium, which sums it up perfectly. The Psy-Lounge enterprise isn't just an opera, it's a story. It's a performance like no other, showcasing what's possible in contemporary opera. The audience, opera veterans and beginners alike, sat in awe. Wait for them. The famous opera house was dismantled and rebuilt in a matter of hours, with its original form and beautiful interpretation, leaving behind a half-baked and half-baked background. It's not your father's opera, with a beautiful story and smooth transitions. For a long time, opera has reached the heights of opera house, where every performance has its own meaning and every story. Let's take one. This is a touching film that captures the meaning and complexity of their lives right now. The stories in this book are not just about kings and queens, gods and goddesses, but about ordinary people, their struggles, triumphs, fears, and hopes. Belonging to the 21st century, it's a fun gun to pull the trigger and take down the bad guys. It's a place of music, art, where each inspires and shapes the other. Music, a fusion of classical and contemporary music, is the theme of the exhibition thanks to this focus. A mix of ancient ballet and contemporary dance, the show evokes a sense of place and emotion. The cymbal itself, when brought out onto the stage and plugged into an instrument, creates an unk song that transports the listener to another world. This is opera music. No hierarchy, no elitism. It's a sport that everyone can enjoy, regardless of skill or experience level. Players, as a community of users, have different perspectives and experiences of the world, and can play with multiple voices and stories. The audience is invited not only to observe, but also to participate. To participate in the story. To participate in the interpretations and interpretations. Instead, we were given laughter, and distraction. Education in psychology and the arts. The show is masterful and deliberate in capturing every emotion of its viewers. Singers whose voices are powerful and beautiful convey the emotion of breathe beautiful. The singers, instruments, and animals create a complex and beautiful soundscape. Musicians, regardless of skill or experience, bring warmth and vulgarity to music, a testament to the power of change. He hopes to quit his bad habits and remain anonymous. The actors in this opera take risks, create situations, complain. They embraced new ideas and concepts that incorporated multimedia and digital art elements for the exhibition. They have worked with artists of different genres to create work that defies categories. The effectiveness of an intervention depends not only on the method, but also on the details of the process. Every element of it, from the music to the production to the set design, is perfectly choreographed and choreographed. The transitions between shots are smooth and fluid, creating a sense of time and space. Well executed, no dull moments. Because the whole thing is a fascinating and immersive experience that gives the viewer a beginning and an end. A series of unspoken gestures, dancers all drinking and working. Each role brings unique skills and perspectives that contribute to the overall design. Language development with literary and oral literature, language construction and ending. This got me thinking. Visual extras, including visual effects and sets, support the story and save Christine. The singers create powerful, beautiful music with amazing recordings. Musicians use their skills and talents to bring music to life and make music what it is. The beautiful, energetic actors brought the characters of the songs and stories to life with their creativity and enthusiasm, turning them into fun and easy movements. This is not an opera for the faint of heart. It's a personal invitation, a challenge, an invitation to slow down and let your brain go blank. Participants are encouraged to ask questions, to think, to feel, to imagine. The issues and challenges are many and varied, daunting. Look at his face and look high and wide. Theater is a conversation between actor and audience, a fleeting experience and a deeper meaning. It's a reminder that art, at its best, can inspire, and transform. It is a celebration of creativity, a symbol of the limitless potential of the human spirit. It's a call to action, a reminder that we all have the ability to work and dream, make choices and make changes, a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that beauty, value, and hope can be found even in the darkest of times. Ultimately, Psy-Lounge Enterprises is taking opera to the next level, doing something extraordinary, pushing the boundaries of what they can do and pushing the boundaries of what they can do. It's not just an opera, it's a spectacle, a journey, a celebration of the power of art and the human spirit. It is a symbol of the power of change, a reminder that we can all create, dream, imagine, and make a difference. It's a call to action, a reminder that we all have the capacity to fight, to breathe, to persevere, and to change. It is a celebration of human diversity, a demonstration
power of crisis and educational success. The success of this new opera involves the relationship between mystery and the spectacular supernatural group. These two groups of people, each with a specific purpose, come together to create something sacred and a sinister force. Sonic offers flavor restoration equipment that includes flavor extraction and restoration. So the greenhouse produces great vegetables. The value of a commodity determines its growth and exchange rate. It demonstrates the power of collaboration, showing that when local employees come together to work together, the possibilities are limitless. This project is a clear example of what can be achieved by breaking down the gap between development and operations. Works become language. They not only offer to describe the world's working libretto, but become part of it. The formation of the opera world. Words and images are equally powerful, each evoking and reinforcing the other, creating a multifaceted language around how he thinks and follows his thoughts. The song is a powerful statement about breaking down barriers between art forms. The future of art, he said, lies in collaboration, in the meeting of different disciplines and perspectives. The second act of this operatic master of speech and imaginative music is more than a musical, an invitation to conversation, a place for reflection. We can help you answer tough questions about grammar, structure, meaning, and meaning. It does not give easy answers, but instead tries to show the importance of human flourishing in a totalitarian world to deal with these problems in its own way. Opera is a beautiful reminder of the power of art. They transcend cultures and languages, speaking deeply, mysteriously, and deeply in good end. It reminds us that despite our differences, we are all connected in our humanity, in our capacity for love, in how quickly it fades, in our joys and sorrows. For example, an analysis of opera's multilingualism invites us to consider the importance of language in understanding the world. He tries to swallow his pride, paying attention to language and embracing the meaning and purpose of humanity in all its forms. The use of EDM in the psychedelic house, mixed with escapism and hedonism, brings a new perspective to the subject. It became a tool for assessing mental state. Music and its appeal becomes a bridge to the unknown, a path to our consciousness, and our consciousness knows no words.
Episode 12. Lasting Effects of Future Flashes of Psy-Lounge Visions. When we left the theater and watched the opera lights, all we took were taste buds and information about drinking coffee. Psy-Lounge Enterprises invites us to reflect on the history of opera, to imagine a future where industry standards no longer follow, to support new disciplines, and to be an audience. As someone who works in the manufacturing industry, this concept is very useful in manufacturing processes that are now considered confidential by the public. This suggests that opera is not a thing of the past, but can be an important and relevant form of entertainment in the 21st century and beyond. This level of work goes beyond theater. It can start a larger conversation about the role of the arts in society and the importance of public engagement. Take a break from the current situation. This is not the end of a journey, but the beginning of a new chapter in the history of opera. Psy-Lounge Enterprises takes it upon themselves to follow other players on their journey as well, guiding them and encouraging them to do fun things they wouldn't normally do, which is fun and inspiring.
Chapter 2. Troubleshooting After Sunset. A combination of opera, music, drama, and musical theatre, a variety of genres. A journey into the human heart, a journey into the spiritual realm. At the end of the day, we are led into a world where every thought, every action, every death has consequences. Actors create characters with their voices and facial expressions. A song that left you feeling overwhelmed and overwhelmed. Even if the essence of the opera is not an easy answer or how to approach it. Stories told on the opera stage are usually simple and structured, complete with signs and symbols. It allows you to see beyond the surface, to understand what's going on behind the surface of the story. By the time we left the theatre, the sounds of his music had died down for the night. We grapple with a number of issues, each of which becomes a backdrop to the protagonist's mind. When we emerged into the night sky, the opera remained. Songs and melodies play in our minds, images and sounds move through our minds. We encountered a verbal and theoretical discussion, trying to figure out what happened to the dog. What does it all mean? What language combines different art forms, different languages and abstract imagery? These questions swirled around in your head, each pulling from your memory into its own labyrinth. What does it all mean? This simple but important question comes to mind. This opera, full of sound and vision, invites us to search for more, to search for mystery and history. Tell a story. Linearity and piecemeal allow us to create a story and see his parts that hold things together as a whole. This is a problem that calls for engagement, for searching for the root of the problem. What language combines different art forms, different languages and abstract imagery? Opera defies narrative by creating a disjointed combination of image and sound. But there is a theme, a connection to the root cause of the problem. The body language, the obscure language, the abstract imagery all act as a backdrop. And as we study his philosophy, we begin to see the connections, the patterns that emerge from the negative echo. A story, no matter how short, begins to tell a story. A secret message, a secret code waiting to be deciphered. D. The combination of symbol and meaning leads us to a deeper meaning, to a hidden message that ties everything together. You can imagine the role, the reward, the outcome, all the signs of a negative relationship. Silly languages, silly images, beautiful landscapes, they all say, there's a hidden code behind the shadows waiting to be activated. But the more we search, the harder the answers become, and the more we think and analyze. Or just a feeling and a feeling. Allow his will to shape and mold our relationship. The beautiful opera invites us into the moment and gives us a deep and twisted feeling that it was terrible. Music, film, and art work together to create a state of mind that we ascribe to J rather than our own thoughts. The network, not necessarily, becomes a source of knowledge, a guide. Education. We are called to help, to find our place in the whole picture of art. The source of the opera's power is ambivalence, not subtlety. The silence between the messages, between the words, in our wisdom, encourages us to be creative. This opera, full of meaning and ambiguity, invites us to enter into its meaning, to search for meaning, to search for meaning. Doubts, unanswered questions, and mysteries remain. After each race day, we all pushed ourselves to do our best to qualify for the next race. The silence between the messages, between the words, in our wisdom, encourages us to be creative. Rich in sound and vision, this opera invites us to reach the depths, explore his mind and tea. We have chosen the truth. Uncertainty, unanswered questions, complexity. If you do that every day, everything works to get us in, get us out, and we keep coming back. Opera is a living, breathing thing that grows and changes with each generation, becoming an art form that makes some sense. Opera exists in our minds as part of everyday life, appearing as a dream we remember when we wake up. Our mind contains images and sounds, feelings and thoughts. Let's revisit each scene. Let's do it again. He tries to explain it through his research. Opera becomes part of our heritage, the memories we carry with us, the breath of space and imagination. Mysteries, unanswered questions, puzzles that bring the opera to life for us and keep us entertained and intrigued. We also watch movies and study history and try to understand it. The opera of noise and movement invites you to participate. On a deeper level, find your source and then connect with your breath. Mysteries, unanswered questions, mysteries that remain until the end of time will all be explained, and we will never die. Opera is a living, breathing thing, an art form that grows and changes with each generation, becoming clearly defined. And so it could be with a psycho salon. They created characters that were outside the scope of the story. The opera that stays with us haunts after its final act. Rich in color and texture, this opera invites us to reach the depths, to search for its soul, and to show us its opposite, meaning unanswered questions and mysteries that will remain until the end of time all bring us in, even if they don't let us out. Opera becomes a living, breathing thing, an art form that grows and changes with each stage. As the story progresses and the opera stays with us, they somehow amend. Trust me, it's been a long time coming. Opera and its charm and beauty. He invites us to stay with him in a deeper place, to seek more, to find worship. Mysteries, unanswered questions, secrets that linger long after the last time we were here because they keep us calling and coming back for more. Opera is a living, breathing thing that grows and changes with each generation, becoming an art form that makes some sense. It's a testament to the power of art, its ability to inspire, to inspire, to inspire. Opera and sound and visual imagery become part of our memory, a memory we carry with us based on our imagination and imagination. Events, unanswered questions, plot developments that make the opera come alive in our ears and make us happy and excited. After all, this is a true Psy-Lounge experience. They have created a musical that transcends history and opera and will stay with us, inspire and comfort us, even as it fades away.
Action call to action. Embracing uncertainty is the business of learning. It encourages us to embrace the uncomfortable, to think about what art is, and to expand our understanding of the creative process. For artists, it was an important reminder that art standards are constantly shifting and changing. This allows them to focus on new capabilities rather than new products, creating sophisticated and accessible products that spark imagination and curiosity. The show is a mirror that reflects many aspects of an often misunderstood art form. Players are encouraged to be brave, be courageous, stand up for themselves, and not be afraid to fight injustice. It reminds them that real art can engage, inspire, and inspire people. For those listening, it's a call to action. They step out of their comfort zone, embrace the unknown, and open themselves up to new experiences. It encourages participation in production, taking all orders in an unfamiliar environment. Opera is proof that art is not a shameful profession. The story, the narrative, the project matters. Stepping into the unknown, facing challenges, and being willing to embrace uncertainty makes us better individuals and collectives.
Chapter 1. The development of narrative opera in the age of sensory use. In today's world, overloaded with information and constantly under great pressure, you can see TX story genres. We were a lot of storytellers, a lot of stories and different stories. Psy-Lounge Enterprises tracks these changes with its latest business technologies and offers a hopeful outlook on the future of conversations. This is not a story about guilt, offering an easy and impossible answer. Instead, it emphasizes uncertainty, ambiguity, and identity ambiguity, which emphasizes the motivation behind our daily actions. Instead of alienating people, using different languages invites you into deeper communication. It allows you to use your own grammar and put it into words. The psychedelic vibe of house lounge EDM, beyond just the music, adds another layer to the richness of the music by adding creative ideas and techniques inspired by classical opera. It's an opera that speaks to the lost. It changes the messages we receive every day. It does not take away from the physical form of the human body, but rather complements it by providing a partial representation of the modern T-shaped world.
Heart until next time, a monument to a new era, leaving behind this paradigm of inadequacy in work across languages. We are grateful to artists who inspire us, challenge our assumptions, and expand our ideas of what opera is. This moment in the theater is not an event, but a pause, a moment of reflection before another action begins. Another step, be yes, another change. He changed the way of painting. He was the embodiment of the avant-garde, a pioneer who challenged the T-definition of tradition, who himself rejected the work of the people and allowed us to see the world in a new light. Their faces are mesmerizing, a reminder of the transformative power of photography. Until next time, may your journey be full of twists and turns, mistakes and failures.